Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Geeky Leaks podcast. I am Liam.
And I'm Josh.
And right out of the gate, we're going to apologize. Technical difficulties this week. We don't have desktop capture for you guys this week. Sorry.
Laptops don't work.
Yeah, long story. All your articles are still going to be down in the description like usual. Just you won't be able to see us clicking on things and scrolling through things and stuff. So sorry about that, guys. But we still actually a whole bunch of cool articles this week.
Yep.
Bunch of Intel stuff to get through right away. And a lot of security flaws this week.
Yeah, this is actually this is the biggest week for security flaws I've had. When was the last time we've had so many security flaws in 1 week?
In 1 week, I don't know.
Like
it's pretty bad.
Like 3 or 4. It's crazy.
So stay tuned for security flaws, and of course we'll finish off with gaming at the end. But we got quite a few this week, so we're gonna kind of just dive on in here with some potentially incorrect pronunciations. So Intel announced a new type of processor, I guess, or at least a new chip anyway.
Yep.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, you go first. How do you pronounce it?
Oh, this is brutal. You're throwing me under the bus here.
All right. Well, I'm going to do it too.
Lohi.
Okay.
Lohi.
Yeah, I was going to say, it might be Lohi. It's Loihi.
Yep.
I'm going to go with either Lohi or Lohi. Or I don't know.
I don't think they're going to pronounce the I, but
I think we're probably
weird.
wrong no matter which one we pick.
So weird.
But anyway, so basically what this is supposed to be is it's supposed to be a chip that's used for AI and machine learning, that kind of thing.
Quote unquote, the article says mimics the human brain.
Yeah.
Which is craziness.
We'll have to see what they kind of mean by that because it's not released yet. It's supposed to come out, I think, they said the first half of next year. But they didn't release much in terms of specs or details. They did say a couple of things. It's using their latest 14 nanometer I would say architecture. Their latest 14 nanometer process node. And they do give a couple of kind of vague specs talking about like kind of its capabilities. So they say it has a total of 130,000 neurons and 130 million synapses.
Which is pretty insane.
Now, which is crazy, but like what that means in terms of what it can do, we have literally no context.
Yep.
Because like I don't think anything like this has ever even been made.
If you want to describe it like that, you'd compare it to your brain or anything else's brain, and it's like it's not even close at that point.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's fast in terms of like that's crazy that we can develop technology that does that kind of thing. Yeah,
for sure.
But like it's really not that fast compared to a human brain, that's for sure.
But yeah, that's kind of all we have on it right now. There's really not a lot of detail. I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
This is definitely something we'll be talking more about, but probably not until it's actually released and we have a lot more details on it. So
machines are getting more intelligent, people. Like we talked about last week, Terminator.
Yep, Skynet coming in. Was it Skylake? No, what was it? It was like it was because the old Intel charts for like years ago, before Skylake was even out, they were supposed to have Skylake, and then I think it was Skymont.
So everybody was making jokes about
So it was
Skynet.
like Skylake, Skymont, and then Skynet was like the next one. Yeah.
Everybody's making the joke.
Yeah.
I think I remember that actually. It was like it was a picture, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like their Intel leaked roadmap with Skynet on it. But yeah. Anyway, speaking of more Intel stuff though.
Yeah.
So Intel is again kind of just teasing out some details, but this is apparently some CPUs they're going to be coming out with in the kind of somewhat distant future. I mean, not distant in that long, but probably 4 or 5 years or so.
Yeah.
Apparently they're called Saphire Rapids. This is supposedly okay. So this actually, as I dug into this article a bit, it rung a lot of bells for me because I remember reading an article probably a year or two ago about some of the issues with Intel's processors and why we're not, and some of the issues with trying to get more IPC out of them.
Okay. Because
the thing with Intel's processors is they have a big back catalog in terms of really, really old instruction sets they still have to support.
Yep.
So what Intel wanted to do was to start completely fresh. Like a brand new x86 architecture, ground up everything.
Makes sense.
Which they were talking about doing, like again, like a couple years ago, I was reading in an article. This might be that, maybe. Because I think that's one of the things that's kind of been holding Intel back is just having to support all these really, really old instruction sets. Because I mean, you have to code for that and account for that on every single CPU, and it's hard to add in more new stuff when you have to
support the old.
Still support the old, going back like really far.
They do support it, and I appreciate that. But it's crazy to think about that, even because they're still dominating. They still have the latest and greatest. They're stockpiling stuff like we were talking about before.
And I mean that's one of the reasons why it's like, hey, like I can hop on my PC and play like games from like the early '90s.
Yeah.
And just run programs that are like ancient. But honestly, at the end of the day, you can get VMs for all that. But anyway, so this would theoretically be like a 12th generation core.
Which is crazy
CPU.
that we're thinking that far ahead.
So, well, and that's what I was saying earlier. Like, Intel, everybody's like talking about how Intel's been innovating the last week. They got at least two, if not maybe 3 gens sitting on a shelf.
Yeah, they're sitting on parts
for sure, but that's because they've had no competition.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, so as of right now, it's looking like we have Coffee Lake coming out like next month.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna have Cannon Lake. Then we're gonna have Ice Lake, Tiger Lake, and then Saphire Rapids.
Yep.
Apparently.
Yep.
This is the one I would keep my eyes for the most. Apparently,
I mean, we'll see.
I think it's Ice Lake. I have to double check because like the names are weird now, but I think Ice Lake is also supposed to be a new architecture, not as new as this. This is like from the ground up.
Yeah.
But Ice Lake is supposed to be like, say like going not like Sandy to Ivy. It's supposed to be like a Sandy Bridge to a Haswell kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's like an actual reasonably like refreshed architecture. Because I mean, really everything we've seen between like Sky Lake and now. I mean, what is Cannon Lake other than like an updated Sky Lake basically?
It's pretty much all it is.
So,
and that's all we've really seen for the last while is like kind of updates on updates on updates.
Coffee Lake. Actually, speaking of updates, let's go to our next one here.
Fair enough.
This is our last Intel article. We'll kind of get away from, but so speaking of updates, okay, so this has been like all over the news this week. There's been videos of it and stuff. So the upcoming Z370 motherboards are not compatible.
This is so Intel
with previous gen procs. So normally you would say, like you said, like, okay, well, yeah, probably because it's a stupid new socket with one extra pin. No, it's the same socket. Still socket 1151. New chipset Z370. One thing they did do, which actually makes some sense, and I understand some of the Z370 boards a little more now.
What?
The Z370 chipset itself supports 24 PCI Express 3.0 lanes.
Okay, I guess.
So like, remember before we were saying, like, how the hell do you support, like, 5 M.2s?
That's how, I guess.
There's enough PCI Express lanes, but it's all the chipset. So here's the issue. Like, now you have 40 lanes, technically, overall, on the mainstream platform.
Yeah.
You only get 16 from the CPU still.
True.
So you can still only do, say, 2 graphics cards and 8. But, I mean, technically, yeah, you could put 5 M.2s in this and all have them run at 4x speed. Like, you get a maximum.
Is that assuming you don't plug your graphics card in, though?
No, because all those lanes are on the chipset, not CPU.
Oh, yeah, true, okay.
So, like, technically, you could do that.
True.
But I don't really know why you would, but you could. It's just kind of weird. But the biggest reason they were talking about why these boards won't work with the old CPUs and stuff and vice versa was because the new CPUs are going to be 6 cores. That's pretty, like, it's been out there for a little while now. So what they were saying is, well, with the 6-core CPUs, we had to beef up power delivery. We also increased like the memory speed compatibility up to 2666.
Right.
So they had to, like, I don't know, quote unquote, like, change traces for the memory or something stupid like that. I don't know. Even though on like Z170 and like X99, which is 3 years old, you can easily run memory faster than that.
That's man, like Intel kind of flips their switch all the time.
Yeah. So I mean, like, basically, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but from what I can tell, I don't see any real like manufacturing reason why this couldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already seen people on YouTube taking like 7600Ks and 7700Ks. Putting them in these Z370 boards, and like you can put them in the socket without any problem. Like they fit. Yeah. So like they physically fit because it's the same socket. It's basically just like a BIOS lock. Where Intel's like, no. Now the other side of the coin is too is like, okay, so you can't take your fancy new 6-core, you can't put it in a Z170 or Z270 board. Okay, I can kind of live with that. But like let's say you have a 6700K and like kind of a cheaper Z170 board from like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And you're like, you know, the CPU is still pretty good, but I would love to get some extra lanes on the chipset, and my board's kind of cheap. I want this new one with Wi-Fi or something. Like, you can't take that old CPU and put it in the new board either.
No.
So
doesn't support it.
No. So
that's so Intel, though.
So you got to buy a new board, even though it's the same socket. So
that's the first time it's been the same socket, but like,
yeah,
it's just too Intel.
Because we used to be mad about Intel changing the socket every 2 years.
Yeah. Now they didn't even change the socket.
Yeah, they're just no. We're Intel, so
I'm just tired of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm tired of Intel. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty silly at this point. But so anyway, I don't know what you guys want to do, but yeah, stay tuned for that. It's gonna be weird.
I don't know.
On the plus side, though, we got some news about some AMD CPUs.
Yep.
Yeah, see where I went with that. Yeah. Stay tuned for this. So AMD announced, I think we talked about it briefly last week, actually, where they talked about the Vega refresh and the Ryzen refresh are going to be on 12 nanometer as opposed to 14.
Okay.
Which is sweet. But if you scroll down a little bit here, there's a little chart right here talking about kind of stuff into 2019, a couple years from now.
Yep.
So right now what we have is Summit Ridge. That's like Ryzen as we know it.
Okay.
Bristol,
why are they calling it Summit Ridge?
That's just the code name it goes by.
Interesting.
So yeah, so that's what we have now. It's Ryzen. Bristol Ridge is the APU stuff.
Okay.
But those are, you'll see in here, those are still running Excavator CPUs.
Okay.
Or cores, which are like
old.
They're like a evolution of Bulldozer, which is pretty hurting. So next year we're supposed to get Pinnacle Ridge. Pinnacle Ridge is basically like a Ryzen refresh. Mm-hmm. It's going to be on 12 nanometer. It's going to be a little bit better. Probably just like some higher clocks and stuff. I'm assuming.
Just improvements all around, pretty much.
Raven Ridge is what everybody's been waiting for in the APUs. So that's going to have like your regular Zen cores in it.
Yep.
It's going to have very cut down, but it's going to have up to 11 Vega CUs.
Which is awesome.
Which is pretty good. Like for an APU, that's going to be ridiculous.
And it's going to be the same socket.
Yep. All these, every single one of these we're going to talk about, like even the stuff from 2019, these are all socket AM4. You can get it in like any AM4 board.
Thank you, AMD.
Yep. Like, thank you. Like, actually, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. But the real stuff where it gets cool is talking about 2019, where we're going to get into Matisse? Yeah, I think Matisse. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's going to be the actual, like, not so much a Zen refresh, but the actual, like, full second generation of Zen cores, which we don't really know what they're going to be called yet, but that will also be on AM4, which is sweet.
Yep.
We don't really know much other than that. I don't know if we're going to see more cores because we already have an 8-core, but yeah. And then Picasso, which is going to be basically the updated and refreshed APUs, which will also be pretty sweet. Yep. I'm stoked to see, like, if AMD can get the APU thing right, because I remember when they first came out, there's a point in time where you could actually somewhat justify buying like an APU and spend like a couple of more bucks on some faster RAM, and it was actually like not terrible.
True.
Like
it was like a good budget side.
Yeah.
So
like,
for people who didn't really
even
use
like
much,
especially this, like with a couple of Vega CUs and say 4 Zen cores in it.
Yep.
Like that would be perfect for like the kids can play some games and like an awesome HTPC or something.
Exactly.
Like so I could see everything really good for that.
Yep.
But yeah, so we have a little bit more detail. Oh, and all that stuff from 2019, like the Picasso and
Matisse.
I can't pronounce that. Matisse. That's all supposed to be 7 nanometer, apparently, which is pretty small.
We'll see.
That's cutting it kind of close.
Yep.
But we'll see. But yeah, so got some more details with that. So that's this end of the CPU report.
Yeah, pretty much.
But hey, man, like a bunch of stuff happened this week.
All the intel. It's just Intel.
Yeah.
That's my UGH Intel.
Yeah. Ugh. All right. Well, anyway, speaking of something a little bit different,
some other things that are like.
No, this is kind of well. I mean, it's.
Sorry, wrong article here. But yeah, this is cool.
This is kind of scary because it's Facebook and Microsoft, mind you.
I guess, but I mean, kind of. I guess.
RSI data, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess, but I don't know.
But it's cool though. So
I wish I could have seen this cable.
Yeah.
Basically, Facebook and Microsoft completed their second subsea data cable, and like how fast did it run?
160 terabits per second, apparently.
Like what?
Which is many terabits.
Yeah, that's kind of fast.
Yeah,
that's like slightly fast.
That's not slow. It's friggin' fast, man.
Yeah.
It's huge. Like they say in here, it's like it's over 4,000 miles of cable.
That's insane.
It's huge.
Stretches from
Virginia Beach all the way to where is that?
Spain.
Somewhere in Spain.
I don't know how to pronounce it, so I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, basically all the way from Virginia Beach in the U.S. all the way over to Spain.
It's more than 17,000 feet below the surface of the ocean.
Yeah.
And 4,000 miles in length. Oh my God, how much it weighs?
Oh wow, yeah, 10.25 million pounds.
Like what?
That's many pounds.
Yeah, that's kind of heavy.
That's crazy. But I mean, that cable's probably like just
it's probably
dirty.
And then it's got to be like resistant to salt water, and then it's got to be like waterproof alone on that sense.
And it's probably built with like double, triple redundancy in it.
It's got to be able to take scratches.
Like you're not gonna drop one of those cables and have only one run in there.
Exactly.
Like nah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
for sure. But so I mean, this is supposed to just kind of. Obviously, just kind of basically help with the internet around the world, more or less, I guess, and helping with data transfer.
I guess they are predicting 8-fold increase in traffic, I guess.
Yeah, global internet traffic, yeah.
By 2025?
So they're basically kind of trying to build out some infrastructure to get ready for that.
Which makes sense.
Hey, at least somebody's actually doing something about internet infrastructure.
True.
Because, man, oh man.
Government's not.
That's a whole other thing, but...
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, I want to... Like, I would love to see some actual pictures of this cable because it's probably just huge. Yeah. Like, oh my God.
But to actually get to see that in reality would be sweet.
Yeah. Like, that's some real networking right there.
Yeah, that's some serious networking.
Like, do you think you can do Doom LAN on it?
Mayy. I don't know. I don't know if it's fast enough.
Is it too fast?
No, it's not fast enough.
Oh, it's not fast enough. Like, I won't get enough FPS.
No.
Okay.
Not enough. No, dude, the ping's not good enough.
Yeah, the ping. Yeah, 160 terabyte connection, but my ping is still like 3,000 milliseconds.
So it's not no, it's not good enough. Be better. No, not at all. This is ridiculous. Anyway, now we're on to the stuff that I was talking about before this article.
Yeah, so this, like, basically, other than our last thing, these next three are just sad.
Yeah. Like I said, like we said at the beginning,
it's like sad
this is
and alarming. It's more just like, oh.
Like we said at the beginning, literally, it's like so many hacks.
So
many hacks.
Let's start with Internet Explorer. So basically, there's been a flaw discovered in Internet Explorer where people are able to more or less harvest your keystrokes in your search bar.
It's essentially your searches. Yeah, in your search bar keystrokes.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a video showing it in this WCCF Tech article. Basically, the person goes in and makes a search, and literally, I think like the first one I forget what they put in, but the second one they literally put like "This is my search!" ! Yeah. Where it redirects them to another page and shows them exactly what they typed. Yeah. And the first one was nature.com. Yeah. So they go to do a search for nature.com, and it redirects them, and it's just like, oh yeah, you're searching for nature.com. Now he's using this as a proof of concept as a test, and like some sort of like, for lack of a better term, lab setup he has or whatever.
Yeah. You'll see it in the video if you can watch it.
But this is pretty not good.
Yeah.
So if for any reason you're still using Internet Explorer, stop.
I was gonna say, I hope anybody who stumbles across this video would probably not be using Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
But if you are,
if for any reason you are, that's
stop that.
I don't know what reason you need to stop, but if this isn't it, then I don't even know.
Pretty much.
But anyway, this is very bad. And the other issue with this is because Internet Explorer has already been like quote unquote dead for years, just according to Microsoft.
There's no support.
Like,
so
are they gonna patch it?
Probably not. So
maybe they will, but probably not.
Like, they're screwed.
Probably not.
So
I would be I'll be surprised if they do. I'll say that.
I mean, this is huge, but still, I don't think they're gonna fix it.
They might, but
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of more flaws.
Yep. Moving on. Next one. Next up.
This one's really bad.
Yeah, this was yours.
This is awful. Ugh. So, if you guys have ever heard of Broadcom, which I'm sure you have if you're into tech,
they kind of make a lot of things.
They make a lot of chipsets. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Lots of Wi-Fi stuff and like networking stuff generally.
Do you guys you guys ever heard of the iPhone? Yeah, Broadcom makes all the Wi-Fi chips for iPhones. And like a lot of other cell phones.
I was gonna say, like every Android phone almost.
Do you guys have like a laptop?
Every laptop and like every onboard Wi-Fi module on the computer. Like, unless it's Realtek maybe.
Or Intel, I guess.
Yeah.
But like a lot of stuff, guys. Like,
too much.
Like, oof.
Anyway, so Broadcom is basically, there's a lot of hacks in Broadcom chipsets right now. So basically, what was the actual thing here? This is a 0-day thing, isn't it? No.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, it's in iPhones and other devices using Broadcom Wi-Fi chips.
Yep.
Basically allows hackers to remotely take over the device, knowing the only the MAC address. That's it, MAC address. That's all they need. And then a network port ID as well. You could use that, but that's more complicated, I guess. MAC address would be easier to get anyway.
MAC address is unique, so as soon as you have it, you're screwed, basically.
So and then it's easily obtained from a connected device. So all you need is access to the network, which is like basics.
Yep.
And then you can just do whatever you need, pretty much.
So basically, unless you're running iOS 11, you're vulnerable.
Yep.
Now, granted, I got to give out some credit for that. I think Apple said like 24 hours after it was released, it was on like 30 or 40% of all iPhones, which is insane.
Okay.
But if you don't have iOS 11, you're vulnerable.
Also, it's on a lot of Android phones as well.
Yeah, like on here they're saying
S7 Edge.
S7 Edge, which means I'm assuming it's on like the S7 and
everything before it almost.
Probably most things.
Yeah, at least most Samsung phones for sure.
Yeah.
And then that's the hard part as well because it has addressed the issue on Nexus and Pixel devices. Like Google's latest security update has addressed the issue.
Yeah.
But how often do people get security updates?
Not very.
Unless you have a Pixel or a Nexus device.
I have a Note 4, and I'm running the November 2016 security update still.
So
even though there was one pushed out like 2 months ago in Europe and in the States.
And then I love how it's like, keep your devices up to date, but like we can't.
There's no... the latest update's already installed, apparently.
Like, we can't. So
I already have the latest updates.
We're vulnerable without even wanting to be vulnerable.
Yep.
Great. Awesome. Even people who know can't even do anything about it.
Yeah.
Silly.
Well, I guess we have one option. Buy an iPhone. And upgrade to iOS 11.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not going to do it.
No,
but technically...
we have an option.
But I'm not going to do that, so...
Yeah, it's like that Bluetooth hack, too, that we talked about.
Yeah,
it's like,
and it's one of those things, like, it's... Like, yeah, like, what are you going to do? Like, it's been there for a while, obviously. So
Yeah, exactly. This has already been a vulnerable thing for a long time. So.
But seeing as how we were just talking about iPhones,
I love it. Yeah, I was gonna say I love how we're talking good things about Apple, but then haha, next thing here.
Yeah.
So, do you know that Macs can't get viruses?
True.
You should not be on this podcast.
True.
Yeah. So Macs get viruses, people. Like really bad ones. I know.
Okay.
Like, don't I sound crazy?
I know. It's
Like,
somebody told me once that they had a Mac and it didn't get a virus ever, and I believe them.
anyway, never been on Apple.
Sorry. Yeah. I know I'm sarcastic. I'm sorry, guys.
No, totally. Though.
But yeah. So,
0-day vulnerability from Apple or for Mac users discovered. Basically, they can just get your passwords.
And this is for High Sierra. This is the one that like the latest OS just came out.
Like
too.
this is bad. So essentially, how it works is, basically there's a keychain built into the software built into macOS that like stores passwords and users' passwords and stuff like that, even program passwords and stuff. And basically, they can exploit the weakness in the keychain, which allows them to like essentially get those passwords in like a simple text document, and it just details all the stuff. So yeah, bad. And they don't even need the master password to actually do it. So yeah, it's malicious software essentially. So you'd have to actually download it, and it's not on the App Store obviously. So you'd have to give like exclusive permission to actually run it.
You know, like when you're going to install a program and it's like, hey, I want to install this one program.
Yeah.
Like an antivirus, and they're like, hey, do you want to like install this?
Are you sure you want to do that?
Or install this? And you're like, yeah, whatever, fine, just install the things. I don't care. I want the antivirus, or I want the video editing program, whatever. And then you're like, why is my computer acting weird?
Yeah. Like it's disguised. It could be disguised easily as something that you want, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like they even say at the end of this article here, like a development program costs only $99 a year for Apple. So you could essentially just take that code and put it into a signed app, and then people don't even have to allow you to install it. You don't have to confirm. Yeah. So it just gets installed if you install it. So kind of a problem.
Yep.
This has actually been brought up to Apple. Like a couple weeks ago, I think, according to this article.
And the funny thing too that made me kind of giggle is at the end of this, they talk about Apple will pay up to $200,000 if you find bugs in iOS. Yeah. But there's no bug bounty for macOS.
That's insane. Like, that makes no sense, especially with the payout for iOS. Like what? Like that's crazy.
I mean, I guess iOS is probably more lucrative these days than macOS, but still.
I guess, but I mean, like. The whole thing behind macOS is that it doesn't give viruses. Yeah. So, like, you'd think they'd want to protect that, you know?
Yeah. But I think a lot of things.
Anyway, really bad vulnerability with Mac right now.
No, did they? I don't think they didn't say there's no patch for this right now, right?
There's no patch for this right now. I'm assuming they're going to do something about it.
Yeah, I'm assuming Apple's working on it.
But basically, for now, the only way you can be protected is to not download anything that's not signed, and then really, even at that point, pay attention to what you're installing, because they can essentially install this code into a normal app that you might think is okay, and then you download it, and it's it's not. Like download reputable apps at that point. That's what I would suggest, and then you should be fine. But yeah,
and keep your eyes peeled for a patch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also do that.
Yeah, on to some better news.
Yeah, so that's the end of all like the sad, crazy exploits and stuff.
On to the gaming.
Let's do some gaming. We got one gaming thing this week.
Yep, and it's awesome.
There was going to be two, but the other one was basically just the turbo lighting mod for Witcher has a new update. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's cool. There you go. There's that article. Cool.
Yep.
This one is actually has a little bit more meat to the bone. This is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes, everybody's been pumped for this. Mm-hmm. Like, how long has this been in the making?
Too long?
Yep.
No, it's been a while. I don't know exactly how long.
Like, Zach's been asking for this for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, at least a few years for us just waiting for it that we've been talking about it.
Like, because the first one is like, what, 5 years old?
I'd say at least, if not more. Like, yeah, like it's old.
We're due.
Like, isn't that like after San Andreas? That was what Rockstar released? It was a while, like a couple years after San Andreas, maybe?
I think it was around, it might have been either just before or just after GTA 4, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was before GTA 4.
Like maybe a year before or something like that?
I think you're right.
Because I think they were working on kind of both of them sort of together. And
Could be wrong, but...
It's been out for a while.
Yeah, it's
like
somewhere
we're due for a second one.
Exactly, and now we're getting it, obviously.
So there's a new trailer in here.
Yep, and which it's sweet.
Looks pretty sweet.
They're saying hits PS4 and Xbox One in spring of 2018. No word on PC.
I don't know if this is still true, but I think I read a while ago that it's no plans to come to PC.
Yep, and I would imagine so as well.
Which is really, really unfortunate.
Yep.
Because that means we can't play it.
Yep. So that's great.
Because I don't care. I'm not buying a console for one game.
Nope. So
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Like, I don't even... Yeah.
Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah. But either way, Red Dead Redemption 2 is still really cool.
Trailer looks sick. It doesn't quite look as good and graphically as I expected, but I mean, it's not a PC game, so I can't expect them to go crazy.
I mean, it depends too, because they're saying, so PS4 and Xbox One in spring 2018.
Yep.
You never know. By the summer or fall next year, maybe it'll be on the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro.
Yep.
At which point, I'm assuming it's going to get some graphic upgrades.
And then, I mean, there are articles talking about it coming to PC and stuff, but, you know, they're old and it's just probably not going to happen. Maybe if they're going to release the Xbox One, or sorry, the...
Maybe they'll do a GTA 5 where it's like, okay, here's the console version, and then like a year and a half later, it's like, all right, here's the PC version.
True.
Because that's what they do with GTA 5.
And maybe they'll do the same thing and they'll release the PC version with the updated console versions or something.
Yeah.
Let's hope for that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, when they did that, when Rockstar did that with GTA 5, they nailed it.
True.
Like, nailed it big time.
Very
I mean, you never know. They might do that again.
Yep.
But for now, for sure, PS4 and Xbox One in the spring.
Yep.
I'm stoked for it. I'm going to go to Zach's house and play Red Dead Redemption 2 on PlayStation.
Like,
that's what we're
because I know he's going to buy it.
Yeah.
So.
We're coming to your house to play Red Dead Redemption, Zach.
Yep.
I don't even know if he's going to watch this, but...
Oh, I'll probably get to this article.
But, yeah. But if you are watching this, we're coming to your house and playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yep.
When it's out. And I guess that's it.
Yep.
Sorry for the kind of sad stuff at the end, but...
Yeah, I guess. But
man, like, there's just so many...
You got to go through the vulnerabilities.
You guys got to know. Like, we got to tell you.
Yep.
Like, we're just not going to not tell you and brush that off. That's, like, important news.
Exactly.
You know? Even if there's not a patch for it, at least you can be aware of it, right?
Exactly.
But anyway, that is all. Thanks as always for watching, guys. Sorry that, again, there's no desktop capture this week. That should be fixed next week once I get my laptop figured out. But thanks as always for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to share the video. Throw it around the internet wherever you can.
Yeah.
And that's all. We'll see you guys next time. See you next week.